Evening peeps, evening, welcome back to the channel. So I forgot to turn the sound on last week, last stream on the C63s. Apologies. You'd think I'd know better by now, wouldn't you? So tonight we're back with round 3 of P1RCs Toyota Corolla GR Sprint League. So we've got 3 10-minute races for you guys tonight. We've got a 3-minute qualifying, so it's a one-shot qualifying, 1 out lap, 1 hot lap, and obviously park it up. So we are live from Dragon Trail Seaside tonight. That does include Chicane of Death. So hopefully everyone can keep it out the walls tonight. It might be tricky in the first few laps if they keep it quite close together. Again, so 3 10-minute laps. They do have to use soft and medium tyres as well. You can see there they are sport tyres as well. So not as much grip as the racing tyres, which could mean that Chicane of Death is a little bit more treacherous. We'll see. We'll see how they get on tonight. So let's have a look at points before we get into this qualifying. Leading the way at the minute is P1 Dylan with 113 points. Obi-Wan in second with 96 points. We've got Ice Chandin 84, who unfortunately got booted out of the lobby on Sunday night. Mocking Weeks in fourth with 73 points. We've got Pilgrim fifth with 61 points. Tyre Slayer sixth with 58 points. Captain Pugwash in seventh with 53 points. And Hirokram in eighth with also 53 points, so joint 7th. Nick with 40 points in 9th. Nick Vic 007. Faithless Emo in 10th with 36 points. P1 Skippy in 11th with 29 points. And joint 12th for Winnie ST and It's Hoggy, both sitting on 28 points there. So into the lobby. Merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Hit me up, darksmoker@googlemail.com. Right. Sound on. Sound on, Smoker. Come on. I've got all my screens backwards, so it feels so alien at the minute. I've put my streaming screen here, and my stream here, YouTube here. So it's just freaking me out a little bit because they're both on the wrong side. So I'm looking at this, thinking it's that. I'm looking at that, expecting that, and it's not happening. So who have we got in the room tonight? There has been an update tonight, which apparently has changed the physics of the cars. I think all cars, but we'll see how they get on. Again, it could completely change tonight's race if they're used to driving it one certain way. The physics could absolutely throw them out. We'll see. Does look like we've only got 8 drivers in the lobby. I know we've had the update, so some drivers might not have got the update done. I know a couple of drivers were struggling to get back from work on time, so looks like we've only got 8 in for race 1 at least. Hopefully people realise it's a 3-race league and they can jump in for race 2 and race 3, still pick up some points for the season. Right, come on, look at the right screen. We're in the right place. Pick up your pad. Let's get on with it. So who've we got in then? We've got Obi, we've got Nick Vic, Tyre Slayer, Ice Chand, Mockin, Skippy, Pugwash and Pilgrim, all getting ready for this one-shot qualifying. So let's get ourselves on then. We're probably going to get booted out of the lobby before the qualifying starts. I'm not too sure. Yes, there you go. Yeah, ejected out just to restart. Not sure who's going to go out first. Everybody's just going out. Screw it. Every man for themselves then in the one-shot qualifying. Again, just got to leave yourselves enough room to get through the crowd. Make sure you're not side by side through some of these corners. So we'll do a quick lap with Skippy. So into turn one, the first of the chicanes, a little bit deep there for Tyre Slayer. Again, slow, and that's turn one as well, so all the drivers are going to be very close together when it comes to that particular corner in lap one on all three races. Down towards turn three then. Okay, Skippy. There is Skippy. We'll carry on with Nick Vick, scrubbing his tyres off himself through the first of the triangulated almost hairpins. Still scrubbing his tyres. Been off track somewhere. Stop it, you're making me seasick. Maybe just saving his tyres for the actual qualifying race. So into the biggest of the chicanes then. Not really chicanes, it's a great big set of S's. Carry a lot of speed through here in your race run. Just got to be careful that you don't push it out too wide on the exit here. Onto that sand can slow you down. Again, looks like the drivers are just taking the time on this outlap, making sure they've got enough space. Down towards the second of the triangulated hairpins. And now we head towards the infamous chicane of death. So it might not be too bad on this lap, but at full race pace it can get a little bit treacherous. So in here, trying to carry as much speed as possible, carrying as much of these curbs as possible, trying to stay out of the wall, and then it tightens up on the exit. Look at this. Wow, a little bit of a jink into the wall there for Pilgrim. Again, you do not want to be side by side with people coming through there. To the last of the triangulated corners, back onto the start finish straight. So we are going to start seeing everybody stick the hammer down now then. So it's Mocking Weeks who's out front at the minute. Nice Chand second. These two got a little bit of a gap between themselves and anybody else on circuit at the minute. Even got his name signed on the side of that thing, Ice Chand. Let's see if we can get a look at that, shall we? See it just on the rear quarter there, going onto the door. Ice Chand. Snazzy. And a great big Pilgrim Designs and Dark Smoker logo. I like the way the P's upside down to make a D. That's I like that. Thanks. Just keep our eye on these two then through this chicane of death. Oof, Ice Chand sliding it onto the into the hairpin. So this is it. They don't get another opportunity. It's a one-shot qualifying. So they've got to carry everything they can, try and not smash it into a wall. Both of those drivers keep it out of that chicane all then. So we'll stick with these two. We'll work our way through the field as they come up towards the line. It is Mocking Weeks that's going to be the first man to cross the line. Again, sideways through here. The rear of these Corollas absolutely letting go. So, Mocking Weeks doesn't hold pole. Ice Chand comes through to take that off him. Tyre Slayer stays in third for the time being. Captain Pugwash up towards the line. What's he put in? So stays fourth. Nick Vick. He moves up to fourth. Captain Pugwash pushes him, gets pushed down. Pilgrim comes across the line, takes fifth for the time being, but Obi-Wan's come through to take that off him. And that is it. So it is... Oh, we're not going to get to see that. We are going to get to see that. There we go. Ice Chand taking that pole position in race one. Then 1:54.6 his time. Mocking Week second. Tyre Slayer third. Nick Vick fourth. Obi-Wan in fifth. Pilgrim sixth. Skippy in seventh. And Captain Pugwash in eighth. So yeah, fortunately only 8 drivers. And we just wait for... There we go then, straight into race one. 10 minutes here at Dragon Trail Seaside. Again, just trying to keep it out of the walls of that chicane of death. Well, and any other walls, I suppose. There's plenty of them. Nonsense on. So Ice Chan then, can he hold this lead down to turn 1? Lights are on then. Oh, it's not a great start. Mocking gets a good drive off the line. Everybody getting away well. Ice Chan is holding the inside down towards turn 1 though. Mocking Weeks will gain a little bit through the inside beep through there, but can he hold it side by side through this first corner? Can't. Let's Ice Chan have that. Slots himself into second position. Everybody else getting through there cleanly as well then. Still tight then, coming into the first of these almost hairpins. Oof, Tyre Slayer flashing his lights, going a little bit wide. Ice Chan getting a wobble on there. Allows Mocking Weeks through then. Ice Chan drops to second, Tyre Slayer third. Is it coming through all right? Can you hear the sound all right, people, if you're listening? Nick Vick holding that fourth position. Obi-Wan still in fifth. Skippy has moved up a position into sixth. Captain Pugwash also moving up a position. And Pilgrim, unfortunately, falling down to eighth. Getting something wrong somewhere. Back up front then, Mocking. Pulled a bit of a gap, actually. 0.8 of a second over Ice Chan. He's got a little bit of a gap behind him as well, back to Tyre Slayer. Look at this, absolutely throwing these cars into these corners. Seems to be the only way to drive them. Oh, who was that? It was Skippy. Got a bit of a wobble on the exit of that hairpin. Managed to hold on to it though. Into the chicane we go. And everybody through there cleanly again for another lap. We have only just seen a qualifying lap, but, you know, same thing. So, Mocking Weeks then holding that lead. Ice Chan pulled a little bit of time back on him. He's got half a second between himself and Mocking. In the slipstream as well, down this long start-finish straight. Gap's down to 0.3. Don't think he's going to be able to make the move into turn 1. Trying to keep himself absolutely bolted behind Mocking Weeks. Make the most of that slipstream. Down into turn 1 we go then. A big gap back to the rest of the field at the minute. Ice Chan and Mocking pulled away a tiny bit. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. But from his perspective, there's the gap back from second to third then. 2 seconds back to Tyre Slayer. Still got Nick Vick and everybody else. Oh, look at this. Ice Chan all over Mocking Weeks coming into the second of the chicanes. Or the S's, not the chicane. This is not a chicane. Loses out on the way through there though. Gap stretches back up to half a second then as they go over the brow of the hill down towards the second of the almost hairpins. Mocking goes a little bit wide through there. Ice Chan's going to get a good run on him here down towards the chicane, but again he's not going to be brave enough to go for a move into this one, I don't think. Keeps himself bolted onto the rear end though through here. Sliding it on the way out, keeps himself 0.3 of a second back. Still not going to be close enough to go for the move into the final corner. Tyre Slayer then pulled a little bit of a gap for himself. He's now got 3 seconds in front to Ice Chan and 2 seconds back to Obi. He's made up another position. Nick Vick's dropped back to 8th position now as well. A long way down as well, unfortunately, Nick Vick. Chicane of death victim, maybe. Someone's got the horn on. It is Skippy. Okay. Is he trying to put people off, or is he just annoyed at somebody? Who knows? Pilgrim then in 5th, Captain Pugwash 6th, Skippy in 7th. These three having a bit of a close battle at the minute. Again, Obi's not too far in front there. He has got himself 1.7 seconds gap to those three fighting behind him. Again, these Toyota Corollas just sliding through these corners. Ice Chan, stop it. Down the start-finish straight. Carried the speed then. Got the move on Mockin. 0.3 of a second himself over second place now. Mockin all over the back of him. Has a little look up the inside into this almost hairpin. He's got the move as well. Has he outbraked himself? Big rag of handbrake coming through there, and he's held that as well. Ice Chand has a little look back up the inside into the chicane, but really pushing here then, these two halfway through race one. Oh, Ice Chand is getting a little bit loose on him, loses a couple of tenths on Mockin through there. Keeps himself within tow range though. Tyre Slayer still 3.2 seconds back, but he's opening up a gap between himself and Obi. 3.2 seconds back to him as well. There's Pilgrim slowly closing up, 1.5 seconds in fifth. Pugwash, Skippy and okay, Skippy's had a bit of a mare. Nick Vic's managed to get himself back into the fight here. Thought he was a little way too far back, but mistakes have happened. So Pugwash into sixth then. He's a little way down from Pilgrim himself. Then Nick Vic and Skippy look like they can have a bit of a fight to the end of this race. Ice Chand then unable to get the move done on Mockin that time. Still chasing. 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. Oof. Taking it tight through there, got to be careful. Again, these sports tyres not the grippiest. The bright yellow bumblebee of Ice Chand then hunting down Mockin Weeks for that top spot. 0.6 of a second down at the minute. Closes up down towards the hairpin, but not as much as he liked. Mockin driving this thing within an inch of its life. Still 0.6 then on the exit. Does gain a tenth on the acceleration down towards the chicane. Let's get ourselves on with Ice Chand through here. Mockin keeps it out of the wall. On the way in, on the way through, and on the way out. Gap still at 0.5 then between these two. Let's quickly flick through the field. Tyre Slayer still in third, then Obi fourth, still being closed down by Pilgrim. That gap's down to 0.7 of a second. Captain Pugwash still sixth. Nick Vic clearly in seventh at the minute, and Skippy's made another mistake somewhere. He's now down in eighth, 4.8 seconds back. Ice Chand then not close enough to go for the move this lap. Gap opened up a little bit, 0.7 of a second. Got to be careful, he'll drop out of that tow range. Mockin struggling through there a little bit. That's brought Ice Chand right back into it. Gap down to 0.3 then. What are we, 8 minutes in? Oh, they're going to see, yeah, they're going to see another lap after this, I think, these two. Tyre Slayer then out on his own. Obi under all sorts of pressure now at the end of this race. Pilgrim filling his rear view mirror. Oof, pushing it on the exit of that turn. Got to be careful. The horn in full effect then from Pilgrim. Captain Pugwash in sixth. Nick Vic trying to close up on him. Just 1.3 seconds between those two. Any kind of mistake from Captain Pugwash could allow Nick Vic to steal that position off him. Skippy unfortunately still 6.3 seconds back. Finds that horn. Into the chicane we go then. Again, still a bit of a gap between these two, 0.6 of a second. .8 of a second. Mockin does carry some good speed through there. Ice Chand not quite able to keep the pace through that particular section. Does also look like Mockin's carrying a little bit more speed out of the corner coming into that chicane. 9:35 then down towards the line for these two to start their final lap. Tyre Tyre Slayer should get another lap in. Yes, he's across the line. Who else? Obi and Pilgrim both across the line as well. Ooh. Oh, these two just sneak it. Fortunately, Skippy's going to be left in the lurch. He's going to be the only person that doesn't get that extra lap. And takes 8th place then. No idea where that came from. Mocking then keeping that distance between himself and Ice Chand. 0.7 of a second still. It's all or nothing now in this first race for Ice Chand. Tyre looking very similar between them. Obviously not much fuel used. I don't have to worry about that so much in these short 10-minute stints. Tyres could catch them out though. So this, I think, this has been a corner that Mockin's managed to carry a little bit more speed out of. Not this time though. Ice Chand keeps him firmly in his sights into the chicane. Still an opportunity here, running out of corners though, Ice. He absolutely forces it through the exit of that turn. Closes that gap down to Mockin Weeks into this final corner. Is it going to be enough? Is he going to go for an absolute Hail Mary? No, he's not. Looking for a different line on the exit though. Still don't think it's going to be enough, Ice. 0.7, 0.6 towards the line. It is going to be Mockin that takes the win then in race 1. Great racing between those two. Ice Chand takes 2nd. Tyre Slayer is going to take 3rd. These two still having a run down towards the line though. Obi and Pilgrim. Comfortably going to be Obi's though. No chance for Pilgrim to get through. So 4th and 5th for those two. Nick Vick has taken that 6th position. There you go. Any kind of mistake, just as I was saying there, Captain Puggers. And he takes 7th. So some drivers opting for that soft tyre and some drivers opting for the medium tyre. And now we're going to race 2. So race 2 will be reverse grid from race 1. So obviously fastest at the back, slowest at the start at the front, and then the final race is grid positions from race 2. So wherever you finish in race 2 is your starting position for race 3. Yeah, Pilgrim saying almost to Obi. Mockin and Ice Chand and Tyre Slayer all giving each other props. 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So are we going to be lied to tonight about lobby start time? What have we got? 21:23. What are you saying then? Who's... Oh, it's Mockin Weeks. Well, no, we should be alright. We should be alright. If it's Pilgrim, he usually lies. He likes to lie, Pilgrim. I don't know why. With a name like Pilgrim, you'd think he'd be a good lad, wouldn't you? Oh, the chatter. That's one thing I didn't mention actually, which tyres people were on, so any of the racers listening weren't able to get that little bit of information. Obi's digging now though. Were you on that soft tyre, Pilgrim? Nope, mediums. So that might have again, if Obi was on the softs and Pilgrim was on the mediums, that might put the willies up Obi for the next race. Because he's got to use the mediums at some point in the next 2 races if he's used the softs. Whereas if Pilgrim's used the mediums, he's got 2 sets of softs to play with. So, lobby chat is saying 28 minutes past. Well, that's what... Oh, Pilgrim's saying that, but you're not lobby host, Pilgrim. It's 21:24. Apparently the race is going to start in 21:28. We'll see. Again, it's Mockin hosting, not Pilg, so should be good. So we've already been texted about the next Sunday 100, people. Where's that gone? I've lost it. So PF sent me this today. Book for the next Sunday 100, 23rd of the 2nd, 25, 10 AM, 20-minute qualifying, 80-minute race, teams of up to 4 drivers, £220 a car. Ring this number to book. But I'm not giving out the number. Find it yourselves. PF International. PF International Kart Track or something. Google it. Or whatever search engine you've decided to use. Me personally, I'm a bit of a DuckDuckGo man. I don't use Google so much. 2 minutes mocking. 2 minutes. We'll see. So, race 2 then. Reverse grid is going to make it even trickier into those first couple of corners. Hopefully everybody gets through unscathed. Again, different tyres are going to be dropped on as well for race 2. That could completely catch the drivers out. No coffee to go cold tonight, people. 1 minute mocking. It's delayed a little bit on the stream. You'll get it at the right time in the clock in the top corner of the stream, but compared to your phone clock or your computer clock that you're watching, you might be about 30 seconds a minute late. There is a slight delay. Yeah, tricky course in faster cars can be very, very treacherous. Be interesting to see what the GR1 Toyotas are like on Sunday. If they came here, how they would cope with this chicane of death. I'm still watching the clock. Don't you worry about that. It's 28. It's 28. There we go, mocking. Going straight in. Good luck. Have a good race. Here we go then. Race 2 just around the corner. Skippy, what tyres have you opted for? We're not going to see. So we'll do the same for race 2. Everyone's found the horn then for race 2. Lights go on then. Who gets good start, who doesn't? They're still bouncing around a little bit, aren't they? A bit like the cars we were watching. What was that? The Subarus or something that jumped off the line? Porsches? I don't know. Can't remember. Captain Pugwash having a little look up the inside. Skippy. Is he going to hold it? Drags it back under braking, holds that line as well. Whoa, Obi-Wan coming through there hot, then drops himself into second. A real aggressive move from him then. Around the outside of that first part of chicane 1. Straight up the inside at the second part, and now chasing down for that race lead. So Obi into second, then Captain Pugwash third, Nick Vick fourth. Oh, he's off track. He's got himself back on, but Pilgrim's having a run at him because of it. Gets himself through then, Pilgs. Nick Vick fifth. Ice Chand has he just got himself past Tyre Slayer? He has. Now Mocking Weeks looking for a way through as well. Tyre Slayer not so fast. Down towards this second of the almost hairpins then. Skippy still leads. On that soft tyre, oh, someone drifting out wide there. On that soft tyre for race 2. as is Obi-Wan. Captain Pugwash on the softs for race 2 as well. Pilgrim softs. Nick Vick softs. Has everyone got rid of the mediums early? Ice Chand is on the softs. Tyre Slayer softs. Mocking on the softs. Was everyone on the mediums for first race? Maybe. It's a possibility. Skippy then leads into this last turn. Obi's right up his rear end. Oh, gets a swap on coming through there. Obi well within tow range then, heading down this start-finish straight. Plenty of room behind him, 1.3 seconds back to Pilgrim. Again, these two having a good fight in race 1, Pilgrim and Obi. Slowly closes up towards Skippy as they head down towards turn 1. Skippy goes defensive though. And hangs on to it through there again. Pilgrim closes that gap down, less than a second between them. Nick Vick then up into 4th. I say that as Ice Chan's trying to squeeze one up the inside here. He's really putting a charge on Ice Chan then. Not sure what's happening behind. Nick Vick, Puggers side by side, as is Mocking Weeks and Tyre Slayer on the exit of that turn. Nick Vick gets through, holds that 5th. Captain Puggers takes 6th. Mocking Weeks just squeezes his way past Tyre Slayer into 7th. Oof. Nick Vick off track through there, so he's going to lose an awful lot of time. A couple of positions here as well. Oh, he might end up last here. Tyre Slayer's carrying a lot more speed over the brow of the hill. Keeps his wing up the inside of Tyre Slayer. Absolutely hangs it through there to hold on to 7th. Tyre Slayer has to hold on to that 8th position then. And look at this, Skippy 1.1 seconds ahead of Obi, and Obi has now got a mirror full of Pilgrim. And he was giving him grief in race 1. He's now giving him grief in race 2. That might just give Skippy the break he needs if these two get a little bit tangled up or start taking defensive lines or something. It could just slow them down enough to keep Skippy in that front position. Ice Chan then through into 4th. Again, real hard push early on from him. Mocking Weeks as well has managed to get through that field into 5th. He's now behind Ice Chan. Those two having a good fight as well in race 1. Pugwash in 6th. Nick Vick 7th. Tyre Slayer in 8th. Getting a little bit closer together than these three. Absolutely sideways through there for Obi. 0.6 of a second between them. 1.2 overall between the top 3. Absolutely hanging it through there. Let's get ourselves on board with a Pilgrim. So on board with 3rd place, chasing down Obi and Skippy. Still gets a little bit of a tow at the minute. Obi benefiting from the tow off of Skippy in front. Again, these things just having to get loose through the corners. Risky that is. Still very similar times between them. 1.4 overall between the top 3. Chicane. Oosh, oosh. Not too bad through there. Still no possession. No positions changed as of yet. Skippy keeping it locked into that top spot. Obi now half a second behind him, but again I have noticed the slipstream not too efficient in these Corollas. They do close up closer towards the end of the long straight here, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Obi in this particular lap. Let's just keep an eye on that one. We've got a little battle happening behind as well. No, Skippy keeps it firmly planted in that top spot. So it's Mocking Weeks all over the back of Ice Chan then. Captain Pugwash trying to hang on to the pair of them. Tyre Slayer's got his way through to 7th, and Nick Vick drops to 8th. We're 6.5 minutes into race 2 then. Skippy holding that top spot. Racing Softs seem to be holding their own at the minute in terms of tyre wear compared to the mediums. In fact, at this point in the race, I'm sure they've got less wear on than some of the mediums. Ice Chand and Mockin's mediums were in a hell of a worse state. Well, there you go. Physics and science and stuff. Oh, the lead of the race being defended. Nope, it's being taken then. Obi gets his way through, gets a great exit out of that corner on the run into the chicane. Gets himself side by side with Skippy. Risks it for a biscuit on the run into the chicane. Takes that top spot then. Skippy second at the minute. Pilgrim now, what is he? Still a second behind. He's not managed to gain any time. Two and a half minutes remaining then. Ice Chand and Mocking Weeks still pretty close together. I don't think they're going to close down that top 3. I could be wrong. We are only going to have 2 more laps. They are 3.7 seconds behind that top 3. Again, Mockin starting to run out of corners and laps to make that move on Ice Chand. Pugwash in 6th, then Tyre Slayer 7th. Nick Vick trying to get back on his rear end. Bit of a wayward line there for Tyre Slayer. Nick Vick, stay off that grass. Oh, he's had to slide his way into that one. Obi not disappeared yet, still just 0.4 of a second between himself and Skippy. Pilgrim has closed up on him though. That gap's come down to about half a second. It was about a second. As you can see, they are visibly closer on track. Ice Chand and Mockin now battling. That gap opening up between these two and the top 3. Nearly getting a wing up the inside on the exit of that turn. He might have a little bit of a late dive here into... Ooh. No, he's backed out. Just shows his nose to Ice Chand. Carries a lot of speed through there. Let's go for a bit of an overcorrect on the way out. So this will become final lap then. 25 seconds left on the race timer. Obi leads still only by 0.4 of a second from Skippy. No mistakes through turn 1. And clean through there. These 3 hopefully don't get into any kind of shenanigans on this final lap. Ice Chand and Mocking Week still far enough behind that they're not in the fight at the minute, but again, any kind of incidents or accidents between these 3 could bring those 2 right into the game. Ice Chand and Mockin still 4.5 seconds behind that top 3. Captain Pugwash is another 3 seconds behind Mockin. Tyre Slayer 2.2 seconds behind him. Oh, Nick Vick deciding he's not going to let go of that throttle. 1.5 seconds behind Tyre Slayer. Lose a little bit more time as well on that bit of a straight up and down the hill. Okay, final lap then. Obi pulls a little bit of a gap from Skippy. He's got an absolute mirror full of Pilgrim right about now. Pilgrim's going to go for a move into this last corner. A run down towards the line. How defensive does Skippy have to go? pretty defensive. Pilgrim's going to have to try and run around the outside or get the switch back on the exit. Oh, who's it going to be? It is going to be Pilgrim. Gets a bit of a pit manoeuvre on the way past as well. So it is Obi that takes the win in race 1. Then Pilgrim comes home in second. Real good battle there. Obi aggressive at the start and it worked out for him. Pilgrim second, then Skippy in third. Mocking Weeks. Oh, I missed this battle. Mocking Weeks managing to get past Ice Chan then in that last lap. Ice Chan taking 5th. Captain Pugwash 6th. Nick Vick 7th. Tyre Slayer coming through the pits. Tyre Slayer takes 8th. Yeah, aggressive start by Obi, but it worked out for him in the end. Just missed that move by Mockin right at the end there on Ice Chand. Not sure if there's a little mistake into the chicane or something like that, or whether it was just a better exit through that last corner. Who knows? Still, good racing between them. I thought Ice Chand had managed to make a break early on when he'd got past a couple of cars and left Mockin behind, but before you know it, Mockin was past those cars and straight on his rear end, and those two were battling as well for most of that race, as were top 3. Took a while for them to close up on Skippy though. He held it for an awful long time, and just getting pipped at the post as well. He just got pipped at the post there by Pilgrim, so it was unlucky for Skips. Mocking Weeks just apologising to Ice Chan, so maybe it was a bit of a brutal move on Ice to get that move up, to get that position off him. Again, we didn't see it, so I don't know. But he's saying, sorry bro, I needed the points. So, race 3 coming up at apparently 21:45. No other drivers joining the second or third race. That surprises me, actually. Thought there'd be 1 or 2 late arrivals. Not to be. So there are final positions for race 2 then. Obi taking that top spot, Pilgrim second. Sneaky Pilgrim. Skippy in third, then Mocking Weeks again. Sneaky Pilgs, maybe sneaky Mocking, maybe a little bit brutal Mocking in that one. On Ice Chan, just snatching that position off him at the end. So Ice Chan 5th, Pugwash in 6th, Nick Vick in 7th, and Tyre Slayer in 8th. 43. Does seem like Mockin's on the cards though. He's on the ball. He's on the ball. Not like Pilgs. He's like 4 minutes late. I know it's not 4 minutes late. So grid positions as of final positions from race 2 there. So that will put Obi-Wan on the start. Again, didn't look at tyres in race 1, so I couldn't tell you if anybody's got the medium tyres left to play with. Everybody on the soft tyre for race 2. There could be 1 or 2 drivers with that medium tyre. Won't be good if everybody else has got the softs on. We'll soon find out in 1 minute. It's going to be an absolute stomp down to this turn 1. Nobody's going to want to give up an inch through there. Again, Obi, Pilgrim, Skippy, Mockin, Ice Chand, those 5 alone just going into turn 1 are going to be, well, you'll probably be able to shake hands through windows. They'll certainly be exchanging paint. Some of them will. 45. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Mockin. There we go. P1 boys do like the horn in this game. Sometimes it is the same button as the DRS, depending on what you're driving. So that could be part of it, but as you can see, people are just Morse coding it right about now. So let's get ourselves on with Obi. Here. Let's see how we get on for race 3 start then. The lights go on. It's a great big jump off the line for Tyre Slayer. Trying to slot into position then. Weeks trying to have a look around the outside. Not a great start by Ice Chan. He gets overtaken by Captain Pugwash and almost Tyre Slayer coming into turn 1. He's held himself up the inside though and slots his way past Captain Pugwash and Mocking Weeks. So Obi leads then, Skippy second, Pilgrim third, Mocking Weeks into fourth, Ice Chan fifth. Tyre Slayer, is he 6th or is it Captain Puggers? It is Puggers who just squeezes his way through. Tyre Slayer 7th, Nick Vick in 8th. Now, let's have a quick run through of tyres. Obi's on the softs. It's softs on for Skippy, softs on for Pilgrim, mediums on for Mocking Weeks. Oh, and for Ice Chand actually. So these two are going to have a little battle to themselves, I think. Softs on for Captain Pugwash, Tyre Slayer, oh, also on the mediums, as is Nick Vick. So yeah, a few drivers opting for that medium tyre in race 1. A few drivers going for the softs. Oh, look at this. Skippy sticks one right up the inside of Obi. Thank you very much. I'll have that first position. The race is on again then. Pilgrim in that 3rd place. All over the back of Obi. We're back to how we were in race 1 here, with Skippy leading, Obi second, being harassed by Pilgrim. Ice Chand holding that 4th. Captain Pugwash has managed to make his way through to 5th though, again on that soft tyre versus the medium. Might be able to make short work of Ice Chand as well, depending on how well he takes the next few corners. And Nick Vick and Tyre Slayer bumper to bumper down here. Are they working together? Yes, they are. Tyre Slayer shoving Nick Vick down the track, trying to make him close the gap up on those drivers in front. Again, the bump draft doesn't work as well as you would expect. Side by side then into turn 1. Nick Vick should hold on to that. I think Tyre Slayer is going to give him plenty of room. So through turn 1 then, into the first of these triangulated corners. Skippy holds the leads. Obi in 2nd, Pilgrim 3rd. The top 3 on soft tyres. Ice Chand is on a set of mediums. He's being chased by Captain Pugwash, who's on a set of softs. Oh, it's all changed. Oh, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Sorry, I thought Mocking Weeks was in 3rd. He's not. It's Pilgrim. So Pugwash on the softs in 5th, Mocking in 6th on that medium tyre. And again, Nick Vick and Tyre Slayer both on that medium tyre for this last race as well. They've been pretty close, mistakes aside. Top 3 then, still pretty much bumper to bumper. Oh, a little clatter into the wall there for Pilgrim. That's going to slow him down. Skippy and Obi start to disappear then. 0.7, 0.8. He'll be upset with that. He's out of the slipstream range at the minute. Again, not that the slipstream range works too well in these things. He's back, just back in that toe. Oh, it's yo-yoing. Just keep an eye on this. Obi has a little look round the outside of Skippy into turn 1. If he can hold it round the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Oh my god, it's chaos. Obi having a bit of a contact with Skippy through turn 1. Again, I'm not sure if it was Skippy or Obi that made the contact, but they had a little bit of a wobble. And look at this, there's Ice Chan, there's a Captain Pugwash, there is a Mockin. Just 2.9 seconds between the top 6 now. And that little mistake through turn 1 has allowed Pilgrim to take the lead of the race then. Skippy now second, and Obi-Wan in third. Ice Chan under a bit of pressure from Captain Pugwash, running over the hill down towards this almost hairpin at the bottom. Captain Pugwash can brake later, turn tighter, but he's had to leave room there so as not to make contact with Ice Chan. That's brought Mockin Weeks back into it. Into the chicane we go again then. Mockin all over the back of Captain Pugwash down towards this last corner. Pugwash goes a little bit defensive through here. Mockin Weeks trying to run it round the outside. It's not going to work on that medium tyre. So back up front, the top 3 I just saw weaving across the track trying to look for a tow. Pilgrim's made a break for it now then, 1.1 seconds up the road from Skippy. Obi-Wan now coming back to try and have a go up the inside into turn 1. Oh, wrong way. Skippy still holds the inside line through the second part of that corner and just holds on to it. This battle is going to give Pilgrim even more breathing room now then. He stretches that lead up to 2 seconds in this final race of the evening. Skippy holding on to second. Obi piling all sorts of pressure on him for third. Ice Chan holding fourth. Pugwash been piling pressure on him, as has Mockin Weeks. And unfortunately these two have fallen apart now as well. 6 seconds between Tyre Slayer and Nick Vick. No battles for those then. Look at the gap Pilgrim's got now, 2 seconds. So 7 minutes into this last race, Obi carries the speed over the top of the hill, gets his wing up the inside of Skippy. Can Skippy get him back on the exit? Not quite, but he might have a go here. Might just leave it till the last turn. Yeah, he's not going to have a go into the chicane. Certainly not going to have a go on the way out of it. But now on the run down towards this last corner. 0.3, that time coming down. Maybe not close enough to go for a lunge into this last corner. Gap at 0.4 then. Again, that will come down, but it's not the slipstream's not strong enough for it to come down quick enough into turn 1. Obi's taking a couple of tenths out of Pilgrim's time. He's still holding 1.8 seconds up front though. He just needs to make a break from Skippy. Give himself a bit of a go at chasing down Pilgrim, but that's a big old gap to try and close down in the last. They are going to see another lap after this, so it is possible. Mockin Weeks through to 4th then. Captain Pugwash 5th. Ice Chan's got it wrong somewhere. He's dropped himself down to 6th. There's Tyre Slayer pretty close behind him. And Nick Vick bringing up the rear, 5.4 seconds down from Tyre Slayer. Again, that time up front coming down as well. 1.4 seconds between Pilgrim and Obi. Skippy trying to hang on to the slipstream of Obi-Wan. You can see that those gaps properly opened up now between these 3. Mockin Weeks trying to stay defensive from Captain Pugwash. Again, Captain Pugwash on that faster tyre. Almost got his wing up the inside. That's not the line through there, Captain Puggers. Mockin dragging a rear quarter down the wall. Doesn't affect his speed though. Captain Pugwash not carrying enough speed through there to make the move on Mocking into this last corner. I say that as Mocking takes a little bit of a wide line through there. Oh, they are side by side on the exit. Not quite. Captain Pugwash not carrying the speed through there. I thought he'd carried the speed and got his wing up the inside. He is closing up though down towards this first turn. Thinks about a little look up the inside here. But we are over that 10-minute mark in this final race. A couple of drivers have crossed the line. Tyre Slayer takes 6th, then Ice Chand making another mistake on those mediums. He loses another position, comes home in 7th. Nick Vick taking 8th. Back to the front then. Pilgrim lost all that lead. Top 3 back together, bumper to bumper. What is there? Just 0.6 of a second between these 3 now. Captain Pugwash has got his way past Mocky Weeks into that 4th position. It's all or nothing now for everybody else left out on track. Again, Skippy really pushing here, trying to get his way past Obi. Obi trying to defend and attack here. Oof. A little bit of contact, not quite what... not taking advantage of it either through there. Obi did just nudge Pilgrim a tiny bit wide. But it's all about this final corner then for Pilgrim. Can he hang on to this win? All 3 of them hard on the brakes into this corner, but if Pilgrim gets a good exit, he should be able to hang on to the lead. Obi gets a good exit as well though. Starts to close that gap down towards the line. It is going to be Pilgrim that takes the win in race 3 though. Obi pressed, but it wasn't to be. He takes 2nd. Skippy comes home in 3rd. Captain Pugwash is going to take 4th position here on those softs. Just making his way past Mocking Weeks in 5th then. And we have already seen Tyre Slayer take 6th, Ice Chan 7th and Nick Vick 8th. And there we go. Some more fresh overalls on the winning screen there. So well done, Pilgs. Real good battle again between well everybody. There was all sorts of punch-ups happening out on track, and I think that kind of works, that format. You know, qualifying, race positions, reverse grid, and then grid positions from race 2. It seems to work out quite well. It does seem to work out. But that is it from tonight. Just the 3 races, the 3 little 10-minute sprints. What is it today? It's Thursday. So back on Sunday night again at 9 o'clock with the multi-class league. So that's Pro and AMs on circuit at the same time. We've got GR1s. It's Toyotas again, but different Toyotas. So we've got the GR1 Toyotas and the GR3 Corollas. Are they Corollas? I think so. And it's Pro and AM on teams, and it's 50-minute sprints. That's Sunday night, and then back Monday night for the Mercedes C63 boys as well. That's the DMK Sim Racing group, and we've got the I should have posted that actually, shouldn't I? We've got the mid-season break coming up for the P1 boys. That's going to be all sorts of cars, I think, but I've seen Cosworth on the cover, and I know they've been chatting about other cars, but my choice for tracks. It's my choice. It's my choice. Right? You might live to regret that, boys. All right. You might live to regret that. So that's coming up. We've got at the end of the C63s, we've got the Mini Martini series again with the DMK boys. Still no word of the date yet for the GTTCC. Again, as and when, I'll let you lot know. And yeah, that's about it from me tonight. If you like what you watched, people, please press that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. But most of all, what I want you to do is tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoke.